Good morning. It is the Big Joe and Laura show here on Mix 95.7, Grand Rapids Best Mix. Welcome to Monday, September 23rd, 2024. Welcome to fall. It kind of feels like it outside, right? The weather's been wonky. It's been so hot, then it was cold a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, fall initially arrived on Sunday. Sorry, I still feel like I need some more sleep. Maybe we can wind that clock back a little bit. But hey, how was your weekend? Let's have a little weekend check-in right now. I want to try this. If you're heading into work, maybe you're getting off, go ahead and check in and be an early bird and see what's going on. Our number to call in to the Big Joe and Laura show is 616-600-0957. That's 616-600-0957. You can also send us a DM inside the Mix 95.7 app. I had a really great time. Friday, I had the day off trying to get some stuff done, and then heading down to Indianapolis, Indiana. I used to work in radio down in Indianapolis, and I met some friends down there that still we connect with now years later, and we went to my friend Molly. It was an old coworker and a friend of ours. Her wedding, she got married to an awesome guy named Hunter, and it was really cool. It was this beautiful old German kind of like a hall building, really historic, but it was just such an awesome wedding. But here's the awkward thing. And I want to talk about this more probably later on. We arrived. The wedding was supposed to start the ceremony at, I believe, 4:30. We're there at about 4:25, so I guess we're a little bit early. And the bride, our friend Molly, is about to walk down the aisle. Like, they started this ceremony early. I've never had that happen at any wedding. I've been late to weddings, but being on time and having the bride walk down the aisle is like, you've got to be kidding me. But we weren't the only ones, but still it was embarrassing. We kind of waited for her to go down, and we snuck in and just kind of stood up against the wall. But it was one of those old buildings, so the wood floors just creak and make sounds. And, I'm a big dude, so it's like creep, creep. I'm like, oh my gosh, why? But overall, it was an awesome time. Had a lot of fun. It was nice to be back in a town where I, spent some really fun years with my wife, Lindsay. So got to do that. And then, of course, it was a great weekend. If you're a Michigan football fan, the Wolverines beating USC. Spartans, I don't want to talk about that. And, of course, the Detroit Lions. That was pretty awesome. They kicked some butt yesterday, and they got the win. And I also went out to Muskegon, saw my buddy Kevin. We had his birthday party. His birthday's coming up on Wednesday. But shout out to Mr. Home. If you're a student out there, he might be your teacher. But overall, that was my weekend in a nutshell. It was a great time, and oh, yeah, it rained a lot, too. Holy cow, how about that? So maybe you got some art prizing in. Maybe you got to do something else with your friends or family. I'd love to have you check in this morning to see what's going on. 616-600-0957 or DM us in our Mix 95.7 app.
It's time for Big Joe and Laura's Need to Know News on Mix 95.7.
Class is back in session today for kids at Comstock Public Schools. The district wrote in a letter to families and staff on Sunday that local law enforcement has deemed everybody safe to return to school. The district was made aware of threats on Friday and closed the school in the 8 a.m. announcements. Now, on Sunday, CPS said the threats are in the final stages of being investigated, and they're urging students and the community to report any threats to school officials immediately and not just share these threats online. If you hear of any threats, they can be reported at Fast 50 or OK to Say. In West Michigan, we got tulip time and a gigantic Dutch population. Well, one West Michigan lawmaker is trying to highlight that. He wants to make November become officially Dutch Heritage Month in Michigan. State Representative Brad Slaw of Zeeland introduced House Bill 5943, which would make November Dutch Heritage Month here in Michigan. In a press release, he said, "I'm proud to be of Dutch heritage. Like so many of my West Michigan neighbors, hundreds of thousands of them, in fact, it's a great part of the American tradition to celebrate the nation that combined to create our melting pot. The Dutch have contributed so much to our state and continue to do so. It's an honor to introduce this measure and celebrate our ancestors." So if this actually gets some legs and takes off, hey, maybe next November we can be celebrating here in West Michigan. And for your final Need to Know news story, we're actually going to go to the east side of the state, where a Macomb County Sheriff's deputy's courageous act was caught on camera. Police received a 911 call of an erratic driver going all over the place. Well, it turned out to be a 63-year-old person having a medical emergency. These are the deputies Nicole Mirren and Anthony Gross talking about that rescue.
Hung out the window like as much as I possibly could, and the vehicle was pretty close, so it didn't make it too tough. I just was trying to think of any way possible to stop the vehicle and try to get his attention. Once I get in, I realized the park's right at the steering wheel. I put it in the park immediately as soon as I got in the vehicle, checked on him.
Once she started hanging out the window, I was just trying to keep us in line with him. I just focused on this mirror and his mirror, just trying to keep us in line.
Wow, those two are heroes. The video is absolutely insane. You can check it out right now inside our Mix 95.7 app or by going to mix957gr.com. That is Big Joe and Laura's Need to Know News here on Mix 95.7. Going to the ER, that's not a planned thing, but sometimes you go there for one thing and it's something totally different, and that's what we're trying to find out from you. Hey, it's Big Joe and Laura on Mix 95.7, Grand Rapids Best Mix. Want you to call in at 616-600-0957 and tell us what surprise thing sent you to the emergency room. I'm going to kick this off, and the reason I even have this question is not one, but two people that I know here in Grand Rapids had their appendix removed last week. They had like appendicitis. They was like, oh, my stomach or my whatever hurts. And they didn't know what it was, maybe food poisoning or something. Yeah, their appendix was about to rupture.
Oh my gosh, it's weird that two people in 1 week. Like, it's weird to know two people that happens to at all, but in the same calendar week.
And then it just makes me think too, like my mind starts wandering. I'm like, what would you do, I don't know, 100, 200 years ago? Do you just like slowly feel it and it explodes and you die? Like,
yes.
I mean, yes. That's not cool at all.
No, not to be morbid, but yeah, no, people just kind of just up and keeled, and that was the end of it. I mean, have you watched any like the Yellowstone prequels? Because that's what happens to like half the characters.
Oh, don't ruin it for me. Spoiler alert.
They all eventually die. No.
But it's a situation. If you feel comfortable sharing it, we want to know what surprise thing sent you to the emergency room. I'm trying to think if I ever had anything like it wasn't a surprise. Like I'm like, ow, I broke a bone. I got to go to the ER. And I've had that. I think I've been to the ER 2 or 3 times.
I think the closest I had was there was a time in college where I have really bad mold and mildew allergies. And so usually in November, I always joke that I'm allergic to the month of November because I always get super sick and I feel like crap just because all of it starts to accumulate.
Yeah.
1 year I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to go to it was when I was in college. I was like, I'm going to go to the college health services. I'm going to get them to just, give me a Z-Pack and move on with life. And so they're like, okay, well, we're going to, swab you, do a few things. And this was back in 2009. When there was this big epidemic called the swine flu that you might remember.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I go in there going, hey, I don't feel good. They swab my nose like they do for COVID now. And they're like, oh, you have swine flu. You can't go to class anymore. You can't deal with people. And this is before we like actively quarantined really frequently. So
yeah.
I remember sitting in my room thinking, I have the plague. I'm going to die. No one ever quarantines. What is happening to me? And just how terrible it was. And that was like that's the closest to a surprise ER visit I've ever gotten.
Okay, this is exactly what we're talking about, though. Like, what the heck happened?
Yeah.
616-600-0957. That's 616-600-0957. Call in and share with Laura and I what surprise thing sent you to the emergency room. It's Mix 95.7. Thanks for hanging out with the Big Joe and Laura show on Mix 95.7, Grand Rapids Best Mix. Two people, Laura, that I'm friends with last week had to go into the hospital. They had stomach pain, had no idea that their appendix was about to burst.
I always thought that was one of those things that would happen in cartoons as a kid where you're like, oh, my appendix. I never think that two people in a single calendar week would possibly have to go through that. So we're asking you this morning, what surprise thing landed you in the ER or someone you know? Give us a call. Let us know. 616-600-0957.
I believe we got my neighbor Brett on the phone. Brett, what was your story?
I was in second grade. Mumps was going through school, so I faked them and ended up with mono.
How did you get mono?
I was in second grade, and the mumps were going through school, so I told my mom my glands were swollen. So she took me to the hospital because the doctor couldn't get me in, and I ended up having mono.
But don't you get mono for making out with people? That's how my wife got it.
Dude, I was in second grade.
Okay, I get it. Girls have cooties, a.k.a. mono.
Well, no, I have never faked anything the rest of my life.
Oh man.
Yeah. See, that's what you get. That was your karma to teach you not to do it, Brett.
Talk about not quarantine. I missed the first 6 months of second grade because they wouldn't let me anywhere near the school.
Oh,
jeez.
No. Oh, Brett, I'm sorry.
Lacey in Greenville, what happened that you had to go to the ER?
I had kidney stones, and they were happening for like 4 months where they were blocking everything. So I had a kidney twice the size of the other one.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I didn't even know. I had no clue. I went to a Michigan football game. This is in 2019, and came home after Domino's Pizza, and I could not stop throwing up. And I guess it's from all the pain. That's what your body does. I had to go into emergency surgery.
So had you had any pain prior to that you had ignored, or did it all just kind of come at once?
The severe pain came at once. You get back pain. But I just figured I'm older, so that's where my back pain came from.
Yeah.
And nope, it starts in your back and then goes up toward groin area, and that's when I knew something was really wrong. So.
Oh no!
Jeez, Lacey,
Yep.
I want to ask while I have the opportunity. Have you ever had a kid?
Yes, I've had 3 C-sections, and I'd rather have 5 more babies than a kidney stone.
Oh God! See, I never
So-
had kidney stones, and I always wondered what it was comparatively. And now hearing that, I'm
Oh,
like,
it's
no,
horrible.
I'm out.
See,
No.
Lacey is just justified for all of us men that have ever had a kidney stone. It's not,
I feel bad for the men. Oh my God.
Thank you. Thank you.
Lacey, don't give him
can't even.
man flu excuses.
Man flu, it's like a piece of hard rock coming out your urethra.
Connie in Grand Rapids, what sent you to the ER as a surprise?
Well, I was living down in Missouri. Went down there for school opportunity, got sick, went into one hospital. They told me it was just a virus. I didn't think they were right, so I went to the second hospital for a second opinion, found out my gallbladder was bursting open.
Oh my God, that's a big difference.
No.
So I had to have surgery right away because it would have damaged my liver.
I'm so glad you at least got a second opinion, because had you not, like, how scary is that?
Yep, that's what the second hospital said. If I wouldn't have came in for a second opinion, that, my chances of my liver being in good tack would have not been so well.
That's insane. Now, Connie, I have no clue. What does the gallbladder do?
So the gallbladder is the filter of your body.
Oh.
So before anything goes to your stomach acids, your gallbladder filters it too. So it's not all just directly to your stomach acids and upsetting your stomach.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's not a good time if you don't have one of those, so I wouldn't recommend going without if you can help it.
If you have a situation where you went to the hospital for one thing and there's a whole nother, hopefully you're okay, but we want to hear about it. Go ahead and leave us a comment on our Mix 95.7 or Big Joe and Laura page on Facebook. Mix 85.7, Grand Rapids Best Mix. We are the Big Joe and Laura show, and yeah, fall's officially here. I know it's coming. It's getting darker, but man, just creeping up on me. And that means one of the cool things is that we get to enjoy the cooler weather, go out to apple orchards and things like that. And well, before you head on out there, I just want to make you aware of something. There is a thing going online with AI, which it's amazing what the technology can do and create. It's duping a lot of people. Images have been going viral showing purple apples, apparently from Saskatchewan, Canada. The post that's online says the purple apples come from Saskatchewan, Canada, and they thrive in a chilly climate. They boast a flavor profile reminiscent of cinnamon and banana, and they go by the nickname Canadian grapes. See, when you give me a nickname like that, I'm like, oh man, like that almost sounds like that's a real thing. But people that love apples maybe a little bit too much have been trying to track down these Canadian grapes. But the thing is, well, they don't exist. It was actually a fake picture created by AI. This is a horticulturist at Dutch Groves talking about all the calls and everything they get from people when they see these images of these fake purple apples.
It would be so fun, but unfortunately, it is not real.
You can have purple leaves on the crab apples.
When there's an AI-generated photo that pops up online, we always get lots of inquiries.
So if you're heading out to doing some apple picking, enjoy some hot cider and donuts, just make sure you don't ask for the Canadian grapes. The people at the apple orchards might look at you a little bit funny. It's Big Joe's Little Wins here on Mix 95.7, Grand Rapids Best Mix. You know what? We would love to hear about what's going awesome in your life. Maybe something happened over the weekend, or there's something you're looking forward to coming up this week. Call us at 616-600-0957 and share that little win with us. We've got Jamie and Rockford on the phone. Hey, do you got a little win to share? What happened?
My little win here is just that, I'm coming up on my first year anniversary here at my job.
Oh,
that's 1 year here.
That is so awesome.
Are you enjoying your job? Like, is it one that you want to keep staying at after a year?
Oh, yeah, totally. Like, it's one of those jobs that was kind of like a dream job. It perfectly fit, like, my interests and my skills, and, I wasn't sure I was going to be able to make it. But, I have, and I've loved it, and I want to continue to stay here. So,
well, you know what? I love that, Jamie, and I appreciate you sharing that because, first of all, that is a little win for sure. We need to celebrate, but I think a lot of people relate to that. They're like, I don't know if I can do this job, and you want to do it, and you're so fearful. And a lot of times, I feel like we hold ourselves back, and you know what? We're capable of so much more.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, this was a big jump for me, but I'm so glad I made it.
All right. Well, you know what, Jamie? I think you inspired a lot of people. And you know what? We're very happy for you, too. We hope that this is the first year of many more to come at your job.
Thank you.
Hey, if you got a little win like Jamie and Rockford does, go ahead and share with us this morning at 616-600-0957. That's 616-600-0957. Mix 95.7. We're Big Joe and Laura. Do we need to put out kind of like a kid warning for this one? It's nothing inappropriate.
No, but if you have any fibs you've told your kids to get them to do things, you may want to cover the little ears for the next 3 minutes. We want to know, what weird lie were you told as a child? Maybe to make you do something, maybe to keep you afraid of something. You can give us a call at 616-600-0957 because we all know one of the great privileges of being a parent is being able to decide how to mess with your child. So someone asked people to name the most ridiculous lies they were told as a child. My husband James and I have a running joke that when our baby comes around, I'm due on November 10th, when our baby comes around, that we're going to just like choose something and pretend like it was way more important than it really was. Like maybe we're going to be like, Godzilla was the biggest thing on the planet. Everyone loves Godzilla. Something harmless, but just to see how long it goes.
Why don't you and James, your husband, break the cycle and stop this madness?
Never.
Because parents will tell you, and even older siblings or cousins, like anybody will tell a young, vulnerable kid something, and usually it'll scare the crap out of you.
That one's not scary, though. I almost might want to be like, no one liked Caillou. That's the energy I'm going for with this. But Big Joe, when you were a kid, did your parents tell you some sort of lie that you believed for way too long?
Oh, yeah. And I'm sure I'm taking a lot of people's on this one. But I used to chew gum, played baseball, and I don't really do as much of an adult. But if you swallowed gum, I was told that it wouldn't come out of your body for anywhere up to 7 years. And I'm like, that's weird, because when I eat like corn on the cob, it's out the next day.
Yeah, I thought the same thing growing up too, and it was the 7 years too, which is even weirder. That it's like the same amount of time.
It must be 7 years, like a broken mirror, 7 years of bad luck or something. But I was afraid that somehow the gum would come out of me, maybe 7 years or sooner, but like it would get stuck or it would like blow a bubble.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. That it was like going to stop me up, and I wasn't going to be able to like go to the bathroom in 7 years. And I had forgotten about the gum, and it would be a nightmare. And so I was always afraid of that.
I think I've worked through that, but that was pretty freaking traumatic as a kid. Like that really bothered me.
Now mine wasn't as traumatic, but one time it was Spirit Day in elementary school. I was probably 4th or 5th grade. It was right after my mom passed away, so it was just me and Dad at that point, and it was 70s Day, and so like my dad did not care, did not get me an outfit for it, but I decided that morning I needed to be dressed like a hippie. So on the way to get dressed, my dad was like, oh, hippies totally wore turtlenecks. Like, absolutely. Hippies love turtlenecks. So I went to school, told everybody I was dressed like a hippie in my little turtleneck and my little brown corduroy pants. I'll never forget the outfit as long as I live, a little white turtleneck. And I genuinely believed that, yeah, turtlenecks are totally part of hippie culture until like high school. And finally one day it dawned on me, and I was like, wait. My dad lied to me to get me out the door to school that morning.
Yeah, and
I told every kid in class.
And all those old pictures and videos of Woodstock, you saw so many of those hippies just with their turtlenecks rolled up.
It was the 90s. We didn't have the internet. It was a little harder to fact check back then. 616-600-0957, or you can DM us the Mix 95.7 app, like Nicole from Muskegon, who says, she said that her parents said you could smell a lie on the back of your neck. And so when I lied, I would cover my neck to disguise the smell from my parents.
Oh, man, that's
smart.
obvious.
Oh, God, I would have fallen for that one, too. Brandon said his parents told him that broccoli would put hair on his chest. He never ate it as a kid, and good news, he still has chest hair.
Well, that's the thing. It actually is true. And I think I ate too much broccoli because I got chest hair, I got back hair, I got nose hair, I got ear hair.
Listen, my husband eats plenty of vegetables, and there's no hair on his body anywhere. Now, Bex in Rockford said it's illegal to have lights on in the car, which I still believed up until like way into adulthood.
Right. You felt like, turn it off! Turn it off!
I freak out if my husband does it still to this day, even though I know there's nothing technically illegal about it. And finally, Jody, I think we all believe this one to a small extent. She said, if I skipped school, the police would come to the house.
I knew that wasn't true my senior year of high school when I barely went. All right, listen, these are great. We want to hear from you. 616-600-957. Mix 95.7, Big Joe and Laura, continuing our conversation about those lies your parents or grandparents or just somebody that was older than you told you when you were a kid.
Yeah, little wives' tales if you wish. Like Big Joe and I shared ours. Mine was that my dad one time told me that hippies wore turtlenecks on the 70s Spirit Day to get me out the door, and I believed that for years.
Yeah, bubble gum, I swallowed it, and my dad said it wasn't going to be out of me for 7 years. I just was afraid I was going to blow a bubble with my butt.
We would love to hear from you. You can always send us a DM in the Mix 95.7 app, like Marianne from Rockford, who said, when you pass a graveyard, you have to hold your breath. I've heard that one, but I never believed that one. Like, what are the spirits going to... Now, the tunnel one, you know the tunnel version of that, right?
No,
like you have
what's the tunnel one?
It's good luck if you go through a tunnel or anything like under a bridge, overpass, anything that's long, that you have to hold your breath the whole way through. And I still do that as an adult, but I think that's more of like a superstition than a...
Are you driving when you hold your breath?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I mean, I'm not going to do it in like the one in New York that's like miles long, but if the tunnel's like a few seconds long, sure, why not?
All right, this is bad. 616-600-957.
Guy from Cedar Springs, what did your parents tell you as a lie, or were you the liar in this situation?
So growing up, my Nana would tell me that there was a snail up my nose and I put my finger too far up my nose. And then it would bite the tip of my finger off.
Okay, so how long did you go believing this, just out of pure curiosity?
Oh, gosh, I was probably like 12, 13 years old before I realized my little brother had his finger up his nose 24/7. And he's like, what are you talking about? What snail?
Oh my God, that's amazing. I mean, I hate that they lied to you, but honestly, I low-key might steal that one for my son or daughter down the line because I think that's genius. And it's just harmless enough that no one gets hurt, but maybe it'll stop that nose picking that's inevitable.
My best friend uses it for her 4-year-old right now.
We pass those lies on generation to generation. That's the way they'd want it to be.
Yeah, definitely.
Sky, your grandma would be so proud.
I know, Sky, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing. That's my favorite one so far this morning.
Yeah, no problem. You guys have a good one.
It's time to play Laura Can't Lose on Mix 95.7. Here's how it happens. You'll have 1 minute to answer 5 questions. You can pass if you need to, and we'll come back if time allows. A tie goes to Laura because, well, her name's on the show. Here's who's playing Laura Can't Lose today.
Hopefully everybody rested up, did a little studying over the weekend because, Laura, today you're taking on Stacey in Cedar Springs for $35 of that Michigan lottery jackpot.
Good morning, Stacey. How you feeling?
Good morning. I'm ready.
Let's do it.
All right, go ahead and kick Laura out of the studio.
All right, get out of here, Laura.
Adios.
All right, here's your first question. What time zone is the city of Chicago in?
Central.
Which U.S. naval base did Japan attack in 1941 to declare war on the Allies?
Oh gosh. Oh no, I know this. Pass.
Question 3. What Oscar-winning duo were nicknamed Biz and Maddie D during their younger days in Massachusetts?
I have no idea. Pass.
Question 4. What is added to white sugar to make it brown sugar?
Man, you're killing me with these. Pass.
Question 5. What car company slogan is the ultimate driving machine?
Chevy. I don't know.
Question 2 again. Which U.S. naval base did Japan attack in 1941 to declare war on the Allies?
I know this, but I can't think of it right now.
Okay, you got a guess?
No, I don't.
Question 3. What Oscar-winning duo were nicknamed Biz and Maddie D during their younger days in Massachusetts?
I don't know.
Okay. And question number 4 again. What is added to white sugar to make brown sugar?
No idea. Wow, that was not good.
Okay, I'm gonna bring Laura in.
Laura! La, 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 Laura!
Well, you know what? Mondays can be tough sometimes in general, and for Stacey in Cedar Springs, it was definitely a rough one.
Oh, no.
She got 1 out of 5 right.
Is this one of those days where you asked a bunch of impossible questions?
Well, for Stacey, they were.
Yeah. Oh no. Okay, Stacey, I believe you. He goes real hard some days, so let's see how it goes.
Here we go, Laura. Your first question. What time zone is the city of Chicago in?
Central.
We have a tie game 1-1. So if Laura misses every single question from here on out, you can play again.
It's happened before, don't joke.
Question 2. What U.S. naval base did Japan attack in 1941 to declare war on the Allies?
Pearl Harbor.
That is correct. Laura's taking a 2-1 lead. Question 3. What Oscar-winning duo were nicknamed Biz and Maddie D during their younger days in Massachusetts?
I don't know that this was their nicknames, but the only duo I can think of for Massachusetts is Ben Affleck and Matt Damon.
That is correct, Laura. 3-1. You're leading the game. Stacey's just gone silent now.
Oh no, I'm so sorry, Stacey.
I'm sulking in my loss over here.
She's licking her wounds.
All right, well, we're not done sulking. Hang on. Question 4, Laura. What is added to white sugar to make brown sugar?
Brown? I don't have any idea on that one.
I didn't know this either, but that's wrong. No, brown. We said brown, not white.
Vanilla's brown.
Oh, you're right, it is. It just, okay, but I think of like vanilla, the color, like, okay. No.
Go ahead.
Either way, no. White sugar is added. What's added to white sugar to make it brown sugar? It would be molasses.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Okay, well, Laura's not going to go perfect today, but...
no, at least a little less.
She is leading 3-1 going into question number 5. What car company slogan is the ultimate driving machine?
BMW?
That is correct. Dang, Laura, 4 out of 5 today.
I think it's a very German thing to say. So I was like, it's either Volkswagen or BMW because they're that egotistical about themselves.
Stacey in Cedar Springs, it's not fun to not hear you talk.
I'm sorry, Stacey.
That was pretty bad on my part.
No, trust me. We've had somebody go 0 for 0, so you're not the worst by any means.
Yeah, and Laura one time thought there was 27 letters in the alphabet.
You know what? We don't have to bring that up every time that I barely win, okay?
All right, well, Stacey, I know you're at a loss for words this morning, at least with answers, but you know what you have to do because you lost, right?
Yes, my name is Stacey, and I can lose. I don't remember.
You know what? I'll take it at this point.
No, I feel like we need to get it right. We need a right answer from Stacey. So I think something more along the lines like, hey, this is Stacey in Cedar Springs, and Laura can't lose.
Hey, this is Stacey from Cedar Springs, and Laura can't lose.
Oh, be like, Stacey, try and take me on. 616-600-0957. Does this give you the ick, or is this guy just really trying to stay clean? Hey, we're Big Joe and Laura here on Mix 95.7, Grand Rapids Best Mix. And this woman's written in and said, I don't know if this guy is just a dork or if maybe I'm being judgmental. So we would love to hear from you at 616-600-0957. She said, after taking off time to focus on myself, I'm now back on the dating apps. And last week, a guy took me out to dinner at the Chop House in downtown Grand Rapids.
Dude, that place, I've only been there once for our anniversary.
Did they put you in the basement because you were worried that you weren't attractive enough to be there?
That was a theory I floated, but no, we actually moved. They put us towards the back by the stairs basement, but we were not actually put in the basement.
Okay, well, that's fine.
But this isn't about me, but it's a great place.
Yeah, it's a great, really nice restaurant. Sounds like a great start to a date, but she said the date was going well, and then things got weird when the food came out. After the server left, my date took the napkin from his lap, tucked it into his shirt like a baby bib. I thought he was kidding, but he ate his entire steak dinner with it on. And I'd like to think of myself as laid back, but I don't think I could date a guy who wears a bib when he eats. Would this be a deal breaker for other West Michigan women? Again, we want to hear from you. 616-600-0957. Joe, would you wear a bib at the fancy dinner?
Would I? Yes. Am I allowed to? No. Unfortunately, I married a woman here in West Michigan, which is similar to this girl, that says, like, you're not a kid or you're not a baby. Like, apparently I should actually be able to not give food to myself. But it doesn't matter. Even if you're not a thick dude like myself, messes happen. I get it in my beard. I get it on my moobs. It's understandable to wear a bib. And it's the worst, too, because you always get that one thing on you that leaves a stain.
You know, I get where you're coming from because I am the type of person who literally does not own white clothing because I know I'm going to stain it and ruin it. So I get it. But that's why if I'm on a date and I'm worried about ruining my clothes, I don't order something that I could get dirty with. Because, like, realistically, a steak should not be splashing all over you if you have, like, general motor skills. Like, if you are above the age of 5, you can feed yourself. If you're having a steak and a potato and you're getting it on yourself, I need you to, like, step back and reevaluate how you're eating your food. But here's the thing. If they had gone to, like, Red Lobster or a real seafood company or something where you're eating lobster or something that's really messy, fine, have the bib. They're probably going to give it to you anyway. But if you're at a nice steakhouse, it's a little icky.
Why? Okay, but that's the thing that's so interesting to me. 616-600-0957. And when I say interesting, I mean, wow, that's really dumb. Because when you're having lobster or anything else, yes, they do give you a bib. That's a great point.
Yeah.
Why is it certain food is bib appropriate? It's cool, but it's not. Like, we should all get bibs when we go out and get Italian food. If I go to the Olive Garden, munching on my my unlimited breadsticks, I want to make sure that spaghetti with the meat sauce isn't getting all over me.
But then wear a black shirt, so if it does get on you, no one's going to notice, and it's not a big deal. But no, you can't wear a bib at a nice restaurant. And maybe I'm crazy. Like, listen, I don't think things are very icky very often. Like, my husband knocked over a drink at dinner the other night, and I didn't even think it was a big deal. So I'm not the type to get, like, embarrassed that easily, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it weird that this guy wore a bib on the date, or should she just get over it and realize he's just being himself? 616-600-0957. Again, that's 616-600-0957.
Mix 95.7, Grand Rapids Best Mix.
And a lot of people talk about icks when it comes to dating. I don't know if this is an ick or if this guy's just a dork, but she went on a date with a guy to the Chop House in downtown Grand Rapids. He pulled out his napkin, tucked it into his shirt like a bib, and she's like, this feels like a red flag. I'm not sure. I need some advice. We're always taking your calls at 616-600-0957. And our friend Haley in Plainwell, you said when it comes to situations like this, you have a phrase?
Basically, what it is, if the pros trump the cons, game on. If the cons trump the pros, it's time to go. So, for example, this guy, he wears a bib. Okay, he literally tucks a napkin in his shirt, like most people have done. I used to do it. I still do it. And, I mean, so the pro that trumps the con in this scenario is less stain remover you need to buy, less laundry you have to do of his that's ruined, less clothes to buy because he keeps it nice.
I see the optimism you have in this, and I appreciate that. But how would you feel if, like, you're somewhere really high end and he does this? Like, are you not going to be embarrassed at all when the waiter gives you side eye?
Oh, absolutely not. Most people are embarrassed to go anywhere with me in public because I am very blunt and I'm very honest.
Haley,
no, that wouldn't embarrass me whatsoever.
Haley, I feel safe to share this secret with you because I feel like you'll probably agree with me, but I know Laura would just shut it down if I was by myself. So Let me have the floor.
Please tell me. I promise I won't tell anybody.
Okay, here's the thing. At home, I don't do this in public because I think technically they kick you out. But I love, like last night I had some sweet and sour chicken. But whenever I eat food, I seem to make a mess no matter what I do. Even when I've lost 100 pounds, I still get it all over myself. So at home only, I take my shirt off when I eat.
No, Joe, no.
Listen, you're fine. My brother, he's a little bit of a bigger guy. He does the same thing.
What? This is a thing?
I'm telling you. Women, you could do it too, but I understand most probably don't. But guys...
No, my best friend does. She's got a, let's say she's very bustly up there.
She's top heavy?
Yes, very. She's got a certain, she's got a bib because it don't matter. It's gravitational pull. You take a bite of something, it goes straight to your shirt where your boobs are if they're too big.
Oh, yeah, everybody's got to have a booby bib.
No.
Yeah, but no, I mean... Shoot, if something's really greasy and dirty and gross, all you got to do then is take your pants and undies off and go take a shower and you're clean. So, hey, you're going to eat with your shirt off, you're fine. Do what you want.
I have one more thing, Haley, before we let you go, because I feel like I really feel comfortable now. I haven't even told Laura this part.
Please don't take your shirt off.
What often happens with my shirt off at home is food, like Taco Bell. Love Taco Bell right down the street from me. Let's say I'm eating like a soft taco. I get a little bit of the meat that like falls out. It lands in my chest hair. I got a nice chest hair thing.
No.
Sometimes Benny will, not Patty, but Benny will like jump up on the couch and he'll start like licking and eating the meat out of my chest hair.
All men allow that to happen because my boyfriend does the same thing.
I feel like my husband would let our dog do this. So, like, I'm just disappointed.
I bet he does do it.
But I'm not surprised.
He's probably at home right now eating some Taco Bell, getting it licked off of his chest from the dog. You never know.
Hey,
men are weird.
Soon
Men are
the
weird, but
baby
so
will
are
probably
women.
be helping him.
Haley, thank you for being there when I needed you.
Oh, Haley, you're the best.
Yeah,
Thanks
always.
for calling.
If you ever need me, give me a call. I'll always be here.
We love you, Haley. Have a great morning.
Love you too, guys. Have a good morning.
Bye.